Hey, what's going on there, people? It's Jay here. Welcome to the channel. So, I've kind of revamped some things, and I wanted this to be the first video in many, and I wanted to introduce you to our new friend, some new bling that I got for Christmas. My wife bought me a new guitar, and I wanted to kind of break this up into two separate videos. So, the first video is just going to be about the fit and finish of the guitar. We're going to go over some of the features of the guitar. It's basically going to be a non-playing review. And then we'll do a second video where I play it and not talk. So basically, if you guys want to watch that video, you can go ahead and flip over to that one. If you want to know a little bit more about the guitar itself that you see in the description, then watch on. So this is my new Les Paul. It is a Les Paul, an Epiphone Les Paul Traditional Pro 3. So, for those of you who don't know, two companies make Les Pauls, Gibson and Epiphone. And obviously the Gibson Les Pauls are the very expensive and real ones, as a lot of players will tell you. But Epiphone has made Les Pauls for many, many years. Officially licensed Les Pauls, and they're basically I don't want to call them knockoff, they're just the cheaper brand to Gibson. They're made overseas, they're not made by hand. That being said, generally, they're pretty good guitars, and I've seen many people playing them live. I've seen many people playing them, in their own homes, mainly because they're not afraid to beat them up a little bit. They're not afraid to put stickers on them and make them their own and things of that nature. This is no exception. So the traditional Pro 3 comes in a few finishes. I believe 5 total. This is the gold metallic, or metallic gold. There's also a light blue that they call Pelham blue. I believe there's a black one. And then there's 2 burst looking ones, like a wine red, which you can actually see the wood through it. And then there's a translucent blue. Those generally run for a little bit more. I think like $50 more for the last 2 that you can see the wood through. Probably because they have to use more select wood for the maple veneer top. So the one thing that you'll notice is it is a carved top. It's what they call a maple veneer top, which is basically just a very thin piece of maple on top of rosewood. The entire rest of the body is made of mahogany. This is mahogany. The back of the neck is mahogany all the way up through. It is a set neck design. As you can see, the fingerboard is made of ferro, which is kind of one of those newer woods that came about when rosewood started to become a little bit more scarce, and some guitar makers needed to find another type of wood to make their fingerboards out of, because rosewood was starting to get to be endangered. So, to be good stewards of the environment, they had to find another wood. Ferro became the one. To me, ferro, I like it because I actually prefer a maple neck, and ferro is a little bit harder than rosewood. So it's kind of, to me, like a cross between maple and rosewood. So it gives you the look of a rosewood. It's a little bit lighter, but it gives you kind of a playing attack that's a little bit more snappy and has a little bit more brightness to it. And for me, I kind of enjoy that a little bit better. Last year's model, which was the traditional Pro 2, actually came with Grover tuners. These are not Grovers. These are just the standard Epiphone cheapies, I guess. But they feel pretty good when I go to tune them. They have a nice response to it. It doesn't feel like real loose or cheap or anything. Everything is pretty well, bolted on. Sometimes you can find like an Epiphone or another budget guitar with sometimes the head itself will be a little bit loose. You have to tighten it with a wrench or something. Haven't noticed anything like that anywhere on the guitar. Everything is pretty tight. As far as the bridge, it comes with your standard tune-o-matic bridge with a stop bar tailpiece. The 2 knob and two volume and 2 tone knobs. There's a secret there, which I will share with you in a couple of minutes. And you've got 2 Alnico Pro, I believe they're called. This one is a Pro, and this one is a Pro Plus. Again, I mean, Epiphone's pickups are known to be a little weak. It's just the way it is. You're paying $400 for this guitar as opposed to, a Gibson of the same look and feel with the, trapezoid inlays and everything and the binding, as you can see. Not exactly real binding, but it's binding. But if you were buying a Gibson to that same price point, you'd be probably spending a couple grand. So you have to make sacrifices somewhere. You've got your regular toggle switch with a white cap here. I'm thinking about changing it to an amber one, buying an amber switch, because I just feel like it would match the gold a little bit better. Probably at some point going to change the nut to something a little bit more not plastic. But let's get to the secret of this guitar. So the great thing about this guitar is that it's extremely versatile, and I'll show you why. So obviously you got two humbuckers, but the two volume knobs here, the two master volume knobs for each pickup actually pull out like that. Okay. When you pull them out, it goes to a coil tap, which turns it into a single coil. Is that not cool? You could do that with both of them, right? This one I already had pulled out. But basically, it turns it into single coils. So now you can get that kind of 60 cycle hum, single coil strat tone. I won't necessarily call it a strat tone. It's more like, I would say, almost like a P90 tone to it. You can mix and match. You can kind of blend it in. If you're looking for something that's going to cut a little bit more, something with a little bit more snap, a little bit more presence, that single coils generally give you a little bit more just wildness. If you like that, if you kind of like that, especially for people who play like metal and punk and things like that, it's a great little option to have to give you that extra oomph, and for rhythm players, you can just rock out on the humbuckers if you so choose. But, yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much, I think, everything there is to know about this guitar. As you can see, I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, when you're just looking at it, if I saw this on the wall, hanging on the wall in Sam Ash or in, Guitar Center, I would probably say to myself, like, that's a pretty nice looking guitar. And I'm not saying it just because I own it. It is. It's pretty nice looking. You got nice gold metallic finish there, just from the front and everything. It's an eye catcher. It really is. And for the price point, we got it on sale around the holidays for $300, but generally it runs $400. For the price point of what it is, it's definitely a good, solid, middle of the road entry level guitar. I think it's probably, I want to say, a cut above entry level, maybe like one cut above it. If there's like 5 levels of guitar buying, this is probably number 2, maybe low number 2. So if you're looking for a good first guitar, or you're looking for a good second guitar, I would say this is a good one. Even if you're talking about a guitar that you just want for your own personal use, something that, something that you want to just knock around with at home. It's got a nice tone to it. And in the second video, we're going to run it through its paces through my Fender Deluxe 90 amp. I have a couple of pedals that I'll be using with it as well. I'm not the greatest guitar player in the world, but I think I can probably play a few songs that will give you a good cross-section of what the guitar can do. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed and this was helpful for you, and we'll see you at the next video.